What's up, guys? This is James at Locking the Value and Copy My Crypto, talking to you today about the wonderful world of crypto. Um, Another mini flash crash last night. These things do happen in a healthy bull cycle. They're just oddly common at the moment. But I don't think it's going to be long before we start seeing a lovely green day. So, sort of a waiting game. But there are some great trades that can be made at the moment. If you remember Copy My Crypto, I did a video yesterday talking about that, and my God, am I really excited about this trade. And actually, the more I look into it, the more I think we're going to see a really good spike. Some big news coming out about the project I spoke about. So, yeah, should be good. Should be good. If you're not a member of Copy My Crypto, check it out. What I do on Copy My Crypto is I share my live portfolio and I let you know about any trades I made. Like these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on YouTube. I'm not in most of these anymore. I got out, put them into other projects, and that I expected to do bigger gains in short time frames. And that's what you get with Copy My Crypto. There's a great swing trade that I've made yesterday that I'm thinking within the next week or so should do about 50% run. So if you're not a member, check it out. Right, guys. Big news. Big news. So Bank of England's considering digital money. That was sort of an inevitability, but it's a nice step towards more UK banks introducing crypto custody at some point. As always, the bank has to warn about Bitcoin and everything else, but yeah, centralized digital currency for the UK would be a step towards more crypto custody within banks. Obviously, that's not a linear sort of move, but I think that's sort of an inevitability if this does go into place. So that's exciting. Right. What I want to get into today is Neo. Neo. People do not seem to talk about Neo that much at the moment, and there's a lot of reasons to. So China is now sort of like I spoke about this recently, but China's effectively calling Bitcoin an investment alternative, right? Which is a nice positive shift in tone compared to what they used to have. Um, part of the reason that actually Neo ended up stagnating quite a lot comparative to some of the other smart contract platforms is China cracked down on all the ICO stuff in 2017. And that meant a lot weren't building on Neo as a result. And Neo has been working tirelessly in the background for a while now in doing Neo 3.0, and I want to get into that in a sec. But yeah, with China sort of opening up about crypto as an actual investment, we have seen stuff like VeChain. I mean, VeChain's a beast by itself, but VeChain's benefited from that. Neo's benefited from that as well, and we've seen about 3x in the last 30 days, I think, on Neo price. I think it was about $40. It was basically on the 25th of March that Neo began testing their testnet for Neo 3.0, and yeah, it was 25th of March. So yeah, from then it's done sort of 3x, just shy. And its all-time high ever was $198, and that was in the last previous bull run. So I would be expecting it to break that this time round. And let's get into what Neo is if you're unfamiliar with Neo. And there's the price analysis. But this is literally, again, it's a good article, but this is an article just sort of talking about China giving the nod to Bitcoin, Neo benefiting, VeChain benefiting. So Neo 3.0 is actually on testnet now, which is good news because it's in terms Neo's biggest thing is they want people building on it. They're not asked about price and anything like that. The founder and the team have outright said that they want it to be the easiest blockchain to build on, the biggest, easiest smart contract platform to build on. And that's a big thing because obviously at the moment, when we're looking at smart contracts, Ethereum's obviously the daddy, but we've got a few that are starting to knock around. Some really good quality ones. We've got Solana, Cosmos, Cardano is stepping into the territory. It's slow moving at the moment, and Neo is there. And there are projects, like plenty of projects already built on Neo, but they've got, or for the Neo 3.0, they're going to have built-in Oracle. The on-chain governance and economic model they'll release that again, but it's not going to be too dissimilar to what they already have. But assets will be migrated slightly onto a new mainnet. So from the legacy to N3 version of Neo. But what it does mean is the mainnet should actually officially launch in the third quarter of this year. And that bodes very, very well for Neo and for developers. Now, if you actually check through the site, the platform is actually they've spared no time in sort of adding detail to this. So you can check out their testnet faucet. You've got learn about the N3 features, and they've got a development chain. And they've already started writing out tutorials on setting up the Neo-based codes for anything that wants to build on Neo. And part of this, and part of what they're trying to do as well, is start to establish some more interoperability. It's the key word of the bull market, or of this last year. Interoperability is massive, and make no mistake about it, there's obviously a lot. There's actually been a decent amount that people are unaware of that has been built on Neo. And while not all of them are flying, some of them are doing well. Flamingo Finance is one, and that doesn't seem to be here. No, that's it, Flamingo. Right now, but I want to get into Flamingo Finance. Now, Flamingo Finance was actually launched on Binance Launch Pool, and one thing I do believe is that we are going to see more Neo-based and Neo-based projects launching on Binance. Okay, Flamingo Finance was literally launched on Binance, and it's partly to do with the relationship between Binance and Neo, and it's partly to do with the fact that there is a good bit of benefit to this Neo blockchain. And if you check out the recent AMA when they're talking about DeFi interoperability and this Flamingo Finance, there's a question asked about so if Flamingo 2 passes, there are other assets on the Flamingo. Are there other assets on the Flamingo roadmap? Cosmos-based assets, Polkadot-based assets. And what they've said is the network's expanding very fast right now. I think we can support assets from many blockchains in the future. When Neo 3 launches, it will be even more permissionless, and it should be far more dynamic. Now, while that's not quite answering the question, it's a bit of a politician answer, right? But it does mean we're going to start seeing, and it does imply that we're going to start seeing far more interoperability within the Neo. Now, whether or not how Neo interacts with that, whether they start using something like Icon to sort of benefit, or if Neo itself just ends up being far more interoperable, we will see. But that bodes very, very well for the general ecosystem of crypto, right? The more blockchains that can interact, the better, no doubt about it. But with a goal and a blueprint to be the easiest blockchain to develop on, there is a real benefit here. And bear in mind as well, Neo's token economics right now are very good. The gas token, Neo's gas token, is actually what's used to sort of fuel the ecosystem. And if you're just holding Neo, you get gas anyway. so you can naturally interact with the ecosystem. Flamingo are looking at bringing in gas liquidity pools combined with Flamingo. So it's going to provide more use cases for gas in and of itself. Yeah, it looks pretty bright actually. Like Neo is was an absolute. I mean, it was one of the biggest gainers in the last bull run. I remember when it launched on when it was Ant Share, and it was like I don't know, 2 cents. It was crazy. It was less. Yeah, I mean, Neo's all-time low, 7 cents. Um, and yeah, it absolutely. I mean, it was probably the biggest gainer of the year, um, or of that bull run. And then literally in the last 4 years or so, it's just been stagnant in terms of price. Um, and we're sort of seeing the benefits of the work that they've been putting in the background. Look, there was your peak in the bull run, and from July 2018, it has literally stagnated for a solid sort of 2 years before we started seeing a bit of price movement again. Yeah, and it looks. I mean, if you actually put that into context, that's a parabolic move in this time frame. So Neo as an investment, very, 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 very good shout. What's its long-term potential, or certainly the potential within the bull run? I mean, the current circulating supply is 70 million, so $500 a coin, put it at about a $35 billion market cap. That seems perfectly reasonable to me. When you see, the trick is at the moment put into context, right? If Doge is at a 40 billion, then you've got to sort of look around and see what's happening. Like XRP right now is at around that mark, and there's not exactly been tons of innovation on XRP or Doge. And Neo has a functioning blockchain that works very, very well. Their 3.0 is coming out. There's no reason it doesn't match those. And I'm not slamming XRP or Doge. I'm just saying Neo's far more. Neo's got a lot going on for itself with its smart contracts. So, and with a better, more permissionless ecosystem and blockchain, we could see a price point of around $500 for Neo. 1,000, yeah, maybe 70 billion. 70 billion. I mean, again, it puts into the context of how well does Bitcoin do. Bitcoin hits 100K, then you're looking at Bitcoin itself having a market cap of about 1.8 trillion, 1.9 trillion. That means altcoins should themselves have a market cap of around 4 trillion. So that market share has to be taken up in multiple places, and there's no reason Neo necessarily doesn't take a chunk of that. It's an interesting one. But yeah, I think there is a sound investment there, and there is a benefit for just sitting holding Neo because you'll get 8%. I think it's pretty small. Like until the update, where I think you will get more gas per Neo that you hold, but right now, percentages, or they certainly have been around 3.5%. So it's not huge, you know. You don't have to stake it. You can you do like what's the word? Flexible savings on Binance, and you can get some gas. But as a long term, or as a year investment, 500 to 1,000, definitely. I'd say 500 is probably a minimum point now, with it running up to 112s or 120 in the last week so fast. And it could legitimately, if everything goes to plan, the testnet's going well. If the mainnet launch goes as well as hoped, and it becomes so easy to develop on, and yeah, there's no reason we don't see it smash up. No reason. Exciting, interesting one. But yeah, that's it for me, really. I don't think people give Neo enough discussion these days. Um, as always, check out Copy My Crypto, guys. Like I say, there's a beast of a trade we made yesterday. I'm certain that we're going to see a run on this coin this week. It would not shock me if it goes up 50 to 100% this week. Big news coming out about the project. Big news. Anyway, that's it from me. Take care. Stay safe. Bye bye.